Hi guys, so I am doing an update because I told you I would when I get back home. I'm going to try and make this kind of quickish because I've done this 50 million times and it's gone over 15 minutes and I don't even know if I can upload this. So, kind of taking off from where my last vlog, I was like, BFP, hell yes, totally super duper exciting, of course, because I was getting, BFP HPTs, big fat positives, home pregnancy tests, for those who aren't aware of the terminology. However, I did kind of put on the comments below of what was happening. I gave a few hints. So this vlog isn't going to be a pregnancy vlog, unfortunately. It's going to be an early miscarriage vlog. Yeah, so I don't know what to say. Like, am I devastated? No. Am I disheartened? Yeah. Of course, like, you set out doing these vlogs thinking, okay, I'm going to try and conceive, it's all going to happen to plan. Miscarriage doesn't even really come into it until you hear of other ladies, it happening to them. Did I think I would have one? No. To be honest, not. I consider myself to be a healthy 26-year-old. It was my birthday on the weekend. And I don't smoke, don't drink hardly, don't have much caffeine. I do everything pretty much by the book, as do, I'm sure, a lot of other women that it happens to. And I've had a perfectly healthy son that took 1.5 years, but only took 1 month after tracking my ovulation and doing all that. So I'm going to start off with why I thought I was pregnant in the first place. Basically because I was getting positive HPTs. As simple as that. I've got one right here. There is that second line. And I've got about 5 more of these. Different brands. Symptoms wise, I was coming up to my BFPs. I had increased CM, my cervix was in the right position to, obviously to what the internet tells you what it should be. I started getting bleeding gums. Obviously that's due to increased blood in your system. Also, I ended up going to the doctor, and because I was just wanted a clearance, and I ended up getting a positive pregnancy blood test. Now, she did say that my HCG levels were really low, but hey, I only would have been like a week, like probably 12 days past ovulation. She gave me a level of 5, and I said, to be honest, would you clarify that as a pregnancy? And she's like, yes, I would. So to me, that was a done deal. However, when I got those results, that was after I'd been having miscarriage symptoms. The thing that really made me question if this pregnancy was going to last was that I didn't have sore boobs. That was a clear indication with my son Jackson that I had sore boobs. They got bigger, and that's obviously one of the main symptoms I hear of ladies, and I'm sure obviously different pregnancies are all different. Also, I would test digital tests, and it would come up not pregnant. I think with these ones, and I've heard some other ladies go through saying that they've had positive these and negative digital. I think these are so sensitive, and there's like grey area with these, whereas with a digital, it's either yes or no. Where these, it's like, okay, there's a faint line there, which is kind of in between. So my signs of miscarriage started on like cycle day 30, I think, 33, no, 31, I don't know, around then. After I would go for like a long walk, I would get pinkish bleeding. I had been spotting, but it was only brown, and I didn't even use a tampon or anything. It was just spotting. And there'd be some like days where there'd be nothing, so I was like, yes, no AF. it wasn't until after I got that blood test done on the Saturday, that was on the Friday, that I ended up getting really bad back pain, lower back pain, and headachy, and I ended up getting a really heavy flow, and I was like, oh my god, are you serious? Like, is this my period? Is this, like, how could I be getting my period with positive pregnancy tests? So of course I was, really worried, and I just convinced myself that this wasn't happening, or I was miscarrying early. So yesterday I was at work, and I called my manager saying, I'm having all these symptoms, like low back pain, lightheadedness. I think I should go to the doctor. So I ended up going to the hospital, waiting for 4.5 hours, and to see like this crabby old lady who's ancient, and is like 80 years old. And I mean, I'm not just crediting her age. I mean, obviously she knows a lot by that age, but not clearly enough, because she was asking me all these questions, and were you cramping? And that's the other thing. I wasn't cramping. I didn't have clots in my blood or anything like that. I was just really heavy, just low back pain, and obviously everyone has different symptoms when they're miscarrying. And she was pretty much trying to tell me I wasn't pregnant in the first place. I asked her if I was having a chemical pregnancy, and she looked at me with the most dumbfounded look on her face, shaking her head, going, what's a chemical pregnancy? Like, I've never heard of it. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, you're a doctor? So that made me feel inferior. I ended up having an internal where she, it was pretty invasive, like you're bleeding and you're thinking you're miscarrying, and she didn't even give me a towel at first to cover myself up. And she was feeling around up there, and I was like, okay, what do you feel? What's happening? Can you kind of just talk to me about what's happening? So she ended up sticking like this device in there, what kind of opens you up, and it's just like a pap smear for anyone that's wondering. And she didn't want to tell me anything, so she got me to wait out in the waiting room after 3 hours of waiting for like another hour and a half, to come out another hour and a half later to say, oh, the blood test results still aren't ready. I'm like, okay, well, I have to go pick up my son. Can you call me? And she was like, I can't guarantee it. Anyways, she ended up giving me a call. I missed it though, and she left a message on my phone saying, your blood work came back, and it came back negative, and that's all. I'm like, okay, thinking to myself, could you at least kind of said, what my HCG levels were? Were they less than a 5? Were they just a 5? And you're just saying that it was negative to her own opinion. I am just up in the air. Like, obviously, I'm not, because I did another one of these yesterday morning and today, and it's negative, and I'm still bleeding. So I am 100% certain that I was pregnant, and it just, to my theory, I just think implantation happened. It just didn't go to that next stage. Like, I was obviously producing a hormone telling my body, yes, there are chemicals going in there that is producing these positives. However, it just didn't cling on, cells didn't form, and my body, or something wasn't right, and my body just flushed out. So that's pretty much, I had my cry yesterday. Obviously, there might be, I think of myself and I'm like, I'm handling this okay. I think it's just because I would have only been like a week or 2 weeks pregnant from when I ovulated. I have a few theories to why I might be early miscarrying, because I think I early miscarried back in January, looking back at my symptoms. So that, to me, I've had 2, including this one now. And I was just been researching, and maybe it is my luteal phase, because last month I only had a 25-day cycle, and maybe I'm not producing enough progesterone in my body. I'm going to the doctor, and tomorrow actually, Jackson's getting his vaccinations, so I'm going to ask him, and I'm just going to quiz him about, should I get some tests done, because obviously I don't want to keep miscarrying if it's just as simple as taking something to prevent it or increase my progesterone. Yeah, so I just want to ask any of you out there, I know I ask questions, and sometimes I don't hear back from anyone, and it's kind of lonely sometimes, because I think, there's so many people out there with information, and I know I've got the internet, but it's nice to hear about your own stories. have you ever had false positives? Have you ever had positives only after, 10 days past ovulation, and they just stay faint, and then you end up miscarrying? I just really wanted to know that I'm not just the only one, and I know I'm not just the only one. So yeah, I'd really love to see your comments. Even just inbox me if you don't want to put it out there. Also, on another note, I just want to give a huge thank you to all my new subscribers. Like, I am totally gobsmacked because I didn't even think anyone would watch really my videos. It was just for my own personal record, diary entries, and for you guys to be subscribing, like, whoa, thank you. I'm just as thrilled to be following you guys on your journey. So I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, so not the vlog that I wanted to be doing, but I'm remaining positive. I just think that's my body way of saying that you weren't going to produce a healthy baby. This is what we have to do. Yeah, so any questions, please leave them below, and hopefully next time around I'll be doing an update on what's happening with my ovulating, and because I will be hopping straight back on the bike and going for it. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and please send me all the baby dust out there, and I hope it's all working out for you guys. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Bye.